Good morning students. This is 10th standard biology video class, video 7. In this video, we are going to continue the lesson reproduction in plants and animals. Dear students, in the previous video class, we have seen how sexual reproduction is taken place in plants. It is taken place in two steps. One is the pollination, another one is the fertilization. Pollination means transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of a flower. It is divided into two, self-pollination and cross-pollination. And also we have seen different agents of cross-pollination, that is pollination by wind, anemophily, pollination by water, hydrophily, pollination by insects, entomophily, and pollination by animals, that is zoophily. Then after that we have seen fertilization process, how zygote is developed inside the ovary. Now it is developed into a new organism. Then post-fertilization changes. Everything we have seen in the previous video class. Now in this video we are going to see sexual reproduction in animals or human beings. Dear students, sexual reproduction in human. Dear students, human beings showing the sexual variability, that means they are producing male sex organ separately and the female sex organ separately. So these basic details and all we already studied in lower classes. Both the sex organs which are morphologically, that is externally, and also physiologically, that means functionally, anatomically, that means internal character, is also dissimilar. So these two gametes are fused together to form a diploid zygote. From that zygote, they are produced the new individual. So sexual reproduction means fusion of two haploid gametes to form a diploid zygote is known as sexual reproduction. Dear students, what is sexual reproduction is important 2-mark question. Dear students, in human beings, the sexual reproduction is taken place with the help of two different sex organs. One is the primary sex organ, another one is the secondary sex organ or accessory sex organ. So primary sex organ means organs which are take part in the reproduction is known as primary sex organ. Another one, accessory or secondary sex organ, they do not take part in the reproduction but they are helping to the primary sex organs for reproduction. So these are all the two types of sex organs which is responsible for sexual reproduction in humans. Dear students, see the different organs responsible for the sexual reproduction, that is primary sex organs. It consists of two important sex organs. One is the testes in male, another one is the ovaries in female. So those are all the two type of primary sex organs, testes in male and ovaries in the female. These two are named as primary sex organs. They are responsible for reproductive function. Another one, accessory sex organs. So they are not directly involved in the fertilization process or reproduction process, but they are helping to the primary sex organs. So these organs are known as accessory sex organ or secondary sex organ. So these sex organs also, depending upon the different organism, that is male and female, they are divided into different. Male, vas deferens, epididymis, seminal vesicle, prostate gland and penis. So this is the accessory sex organs present in the male. Next one, female, fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix and vagina. So these are all the accessory sex organ which is present in the female organ. Dear students, write the accessory sex organ which is present in the male and female organism. Is a book back question. Kindly note down in your textbook. Dear students, the secondary sex organs or accessory sex organs which are containing separate structure and also responsible for different functions. Those functions are listed here. First one, process of ovulation. So process of ovulation means formation of egg or ova. That is said to be process of ovulation. Then fusion of male and female gamete, that is known as fertilization or syngamy. Dear students, define fertilization is the important 2-mark question. Fusion of male and female sex organs or gametes. That process is called syngamy or fertilization. Then the fertilized egg which undergo several division to form an embryo. So the diploid zygote, that is said to be fertilized egg which undergo repeated division to form an embryo. Then this embryo which develops in the mother's womb for certain period, that duration is called a pregnancy period. Then after that, inside the mother's womb, it will be developed into a young child, that is known as fetus. That is said to be development of fetus. Then after the 10 months period in the mother's womb, it will be delivered as a child birth. So these are all the different activities which has taken place or responsible for the secondary sex organs or accessory sex organs. Next, we are going to see how reproductive organs, testes of male and ovaries of female, produced in the human beings, how fertilization or reproduction occur in the human beings in the next page. Dear students, first we are going to see the male reproductive organ, that is structure of testes. Dear students, the previous para only we have seen primary sex organs are testes of male and ovaries of female. Dear students, testes, it is given in the plural form. So that means a pair of testes which is located in the outer side of the abdominal cavity. So this testis is known as the male reproductive organ. Dear students, the testes are known as reproductive glands of the male. The shape of the testis is oval in shape, which is located outside of the abdominal cavity. So abdominal cavity means where the digestive organs are located, and below the digestive organ, the outer side of the male, a pair of testes is located in a small sac or a bag-like structure known as scrotum. So inside the scrotum only the testes are located, which is oval in shape, and also it is located outside to the abdominal cavity in man. Now, we are going to see the structure of testes. Dear students, I told you a pair of testes which is located outside to the abdominal cavity. These testes are covered with a layer of fibrous tissue. Fiber means a small hair-like outgrowth, isn't it? A fibrous tissue known as tunica albuginea. So, pair of testes which are covered with a layer of fibrous tissue known as, what is that one? Tunica albuginea. And also, a partition or a division which separates the two testes is known as septa into pyramidal lobes. That means each testes are divided by a partition or a division is known as septa, and make a division in the form of pyramidal lobules. Lobules means separate lobe-like structure. Okay. In which they lie the seminiferous tubules. So in this pyramidal lobules, it consists of seminiferous tubules, cells of Sertoli, and the Leydig cells. These three types of cells which is present in the pyramidal lobules. So dear students, this is an important book back question. Explain the structure of male sex organ in human or structure of testis. So each testis covered by a layer of fibrous tissue known as tunica albuginea. Then each testis are separated, both the testis are separated by a partition or a septa which forms the pyramidal lobules, which contains seminiferous tubule, cells of Sertoli, and the Leydig cells. Dear students, the process of spermatogenesis. What is spermatogenesis? Formation of sperm in the testis is known as spermatogenesis. Sperm means male sex organ. Genesis means formation or produce. So, formation of sperm in a pair of testes is known as spermatogenesis. So, this sperm formation is taken place in the tubule is known as seminiferous tubules. Dear students, in the previous pair only I told you a pair of testes separated by a pyramidal lobules, each lobules which contains seminiferous tubule, cells of Sertoli and Leydig cells, isn't it? So in this seminiferous tubule only the sperm or a male gametes are produced. So the formation of male gametes or sperm is known as spermatogenesis. Then the another cell is known as Sertoli cells, which act as a supporting cells, and it gives nutrients, that means food material, to the growing sperms. So first one, seminiferous tubules are the region in which sperms are produced. Next one, Sertoli cells, which are supporting cells, which are giving nutrient or food material to the growing sperm. Next one, the another type of cell known as Leydig cells. Their shape is polyhedral in shape, and these Leydig cells are located between the seminiferous tubules and secrete the hormone is known as testosterone. Yes students, kindly underline the word, is an important 1 mark question. Seminiferous tubules are producing the sperm The sperm which are getting the nutritive food material from the Sertoli cells. The next cell is the Leydig cell, which is located between the pair of seminiferous tubules. This Leydig cells only secreting the hormone is known as testosterone. So this hormone only which initiate means to start the process of spermatogenesis. So formation and development of the male gamete or sperm is known as spermatogenesis. So this spermatogenesis is initiated by the hormone is known as testosterone. Is the important one mark question. See the diagram. This is the LS of human testis. Is an important diagrammatic question. So dear students, the LS of human testis, which consists of different layer. So we have seen accessory sex organs which is present in the male or vast difference is there. Epididymis, then efferent ductules, that means cavity, a straight tubule, seminiferous tubule, parietal layer cavity, visceral layer, and the capsule that is known as tunica albuginea. What is that one? Tunica albuginea. A fibrous, thin fibrous layer which are surrounded by a testis is known as what is that one? Tunica albuginea. So that's why given here. Then seminiferous tubule, that region only the sperms are produced. Then this between the seminiferous tubule only made up of with Leydig cells which are responsible for production of hormone is known as testosterone, which initiate the process of spermatogenesis. So this is said to be the LS of human testis. I hope have you all understood the structure and the LS of human testis. Dear students, the previous paragraph we have seen male reproductive organs, that is testis and its structure. Now we are going to see the female reproductive organ, that is structure of ovary. Dear students, a pair of ovaries, already told you testis also pair, ovaries also pair. So pair of ovaries located on either side of the abdominal cavity. That means lower abdominal cavity. The shape of the ovaries are almond shape. What is that one? Almond shaped bodies. So ovaries located on either side of the lower abdominal cavity. The shape of the ovaries are two almond shape. They are lying near the lateral and lateral end of fallopian tube. So that means each ovary which are lies in the lateral side. Lateral means side position. Lateral end of the fallopian tube. So each ovary consists of two regions, outer cortex and an inner medulla. So each ovary consists of two regions. Outer region is known as cortex and the inner region is known as medulla. So the cortex is made up of with network of connective tissue is called stroma, and this stroma is lined means covered by the germinal epithelium. Dear students, pair of testes located in the lower abdominal cavity, and also they are lies in the lateral end of the fallopian tube. The shape is two almond shaped bodies. It consists of two regions, outer cortex and inner medulla. The cortex is made up of with network of connective tissue called stroma. This stroma is covered or lined by a germinal epithelium. So these epithelial cells are known as granulosa cells, which surrounds the each ovum in the ovary and together formed the primary follicle. So dear students, the cortical cells are made up of with network connective tissue known as stroma, which are lined by the germinal epithelium. These epithelial cells are known as granulosa cells. So these granulosa cells are surrounded by each ovum of the ovary together, that means joined together, forming the primary follicle. The function of the follicle is, as the egg grows larger, the follicle is also enlarges. The enlarged follicle is filled with a fluid-like substance is called a Graafian follicle. So the function of the primary follicles, what is that one? They are filled with a certain fluid and finally they are forming the Graafian follicle. And also the primary follicle enlarges and grows along with the growth development of an egg. Dear students, see the diagram. This is the LS of human ovary. So see that one. This is the primary follicle. First one. Then second one is said to be the growing follicle. What is a growing follicle? Along with the egg, this primary follicle is also enlarges and filled with the fluid and finally forms the Graafian follicle, isn't it? So that is said to be growing follicle. Then after that, it is developed into a developing follicle. Then the follicles are matured, that is mature follicle. Then after the follicle walls are ruptures, the egg or ova is released outside. Then after that, the ova is covered by a corpus luteum, that is early corpus luteum and finally matured corpus luteum and finally it's said to be a corpus albicans. So this is the LS of human ovary, how it is produced egg or ova inside the ovary. So that is said to be the female reproductive organ, ovary, which contains the egg or ova. Dear students, see the paragraph, some points also given here. This is a 1 mark question. The number of primordial follicles or primary follicles, the ranges is a newborn female child over 7 million at the time of reproductive period. That means puberty period or maturation period. So newborn female child ranges over 7 million when it is that female baby, when it is matured at puberty level, it is increased into 60,000 to 70,000 million. And also during the woman's lifetime, she will ovulate 300 to 400 ovulation, that means formation of egg or ova. It will be taken place 300 to 400 times and also they produce 1 to 2 million eggs. she was initially born with. At the bone itself, it contains, the female contains 1 to 2 million eggs, and also ovulation process also taken place 300 to 400 times. On the other hand, men will produce 500 million sperms in their lifetime. So entire lifetime, the sperm in a man is produced 500 million, 500 billion sperms are produced in men. So this is the 1 mark question. That's why given in the information bit. Dear students, up to this we have seen how sperm which is produced in the pair of testes, and how egg or ova which is produced in the pair of ovaries. And also we have seen structure of an ovary and also structure of an testis. Both the diagrams are very, very important for 2 mark question. Kindly note it down in your textbook. Next we are going to see the gametogenesis. So gametogenesis, that means development of gametes, is known as gametogenesis. Dear students, formation of sperm in male and the ovum in female is called gametogenesis. In the previous para also I have told you, spermatogenesis, formation of sperm in the testis, is known as spermatogenesis. Oogenesis means formation of egg or ova in the ovary is known as oogenesis. So first they given about gametogenesis, formation of sperm in male and formation of formation of egg or ova in female is called gametogenesis. It involves, that means gametogenesis involves in 2 processes. One is the spermatogenesis, another one is the oogenesis. Formation of sperm in the testis known as spermatogenesis. Formation of egg or ova in the ovary is known as oogenesis. Both the gametes, that is sperm and egg, are haploid in condition, in which they are produced in the gametogenesis. So gametes are haploid cells, are produced through the process known as gametogenesis. Now we are going to see the structure of human sperm. So in the previously we have seen LS of human testis and LS of human ovaries. Okay. Now we are going to see structure of human sperm. What is a sperm? Is the male gamete produced in the pair of testes. Dear students, the spermatozoon or sperm consists of a head region and a middle piece or a portion and a tail region. See, the sperm or a spermatozoon consists of 3 parts. One is the head part, middle piece and the tail region. The sperm head is elongated due to the condensation of nucleus. That means inside the sperm which contains the haploid nucleus. So due to this condensation of haploid nucleus, the sperm head is elongated. The anterior portion of the spermatozoon consists of a cap-like structure called acrosome. That means the anterior, that means topmost, top and bottom. Okay, topmost region is known as anterior. The anterior part of the sperm, which consists of a cap-like structure, is known as agrosome. The function of this cap-like agrosome is it contains the special type of enzyme is known as hyaluronidase, which helps the sperm to enter into the ovum during the fertilization period. That is the functions of agrosome. Dear students, 2 more question. What is agrosome? That means the anterior portion of the head consists of a cap-like structure is known as agrosome. This agrosome, which are produced the enzyme, is known as hyaluronidase, which helps in the sperm to enter into the ovum during the fertilization process. Then a small neck-like portion which connect the head and middle piece, which is made up of centrioles. What is that one? The sperm, which consists of 3 parts, we already seen, isn't it? Head, middle piece and tail. The head and middle piece are separated by a region is known as neck region, which is made up of with centrioles. Then the middle piece, which contains the mitochondria, which provides energy for the movement of the tail region. So because with the help of the tail only, the sperm which are moving from testis to the ovum, isn't it? So that movement is required for energy. That energy is provided by the mitochondria, which is present in the middle piece. So this energy produced by mitochondria, which helps the sperm motility means movement, at the time of fertilization process. So at the time of fertilization process, this mitochondria produce energy. The tail region of the sperm, which are getting energy from the mitochondria, and the sperm motility, that means movement, is taken place with the help of that energy. So this is said to be the structure of sperm or spermatozoon. So dear students, I hope have you all understood what is testis and its structure, then ovaries and its structure, then we have seen structure of sperm or male gamete in human beings. Dear students, up to this I conclude my video. Remaining we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best, children.